So, Blair, how much do you love the Top Steakhouse in Columbus, Ohio?
God. It's one of my favorite places.
Why do you love it so much?
Just the vibe, the atmosphere, the nostalgia, the bar.
The martinis that are the size of your head.
The martinis that...
Like a bird bath?
They'll melt your face off.
Yeah.
I had that happen once.
So I had never been to the Top. And you took me there, and this was the bartender that we met on my first visit to the Top.
The ghost of bartender past.
Let's get into it.
Welcome to If This Bar Could Talk, a podcast about bartenders and the stories they have to tell, as well as the storied history of cocktails, spirits, and bars. I'm Blair Beavers, and here's your host, Leanne Sims.
So, welcome to the show, Hans Maggard. Where are you now?
Right now, I work for an app. It's called Flavvr. We are a restaurant-facing social media app.
You're an app. Mm-hmm. So, what do you do for the app?
My official title is Vice President of Strategy. I help the app sort of align itself with restaurants and bars in the community. I try my best to be an advocate for restaurants and get their stories out there and onto the app.
What do you mean?
Sure. Our app sort of functions as a curation. So what we try to do is just take our favorite bars and restaurants and help people experience them the way the bars and restaurants want them to. So, for example, like, what's your favorite restaurant? Or just one of your favorite restaurants?
That's hard. So I'm just going to say Sidebar.
Sidebar, cool. What's something that you would never go to Sidebar and not get?
Well, a cocktail to start, but also the...
cilantro hummus.
The cilantro hummus.
Empanadas.
So what we try and do is we try and be that local guide to people. We try and say, like, you need to go to Sidebar, pardon me. And moreover, when you're at Sidebar, you got to have the cilantro hummus and you got to have the empanadas.
Okay.
You got to have the cocktails, and we sort of...
so it's like a concierge service in a way.
That's absolutely what it is.
Okay.
And the app's name is Flavvr.
Flavvr. It's an app. It's spelled weird. It's tradition.
Of course.
I didn't make the rules.
No, but you got to follow them.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get involved in this, or did you create it?
So much like I met you fine folks, the gentleman who runs this used to be one of my old bar regulars.
Okay.
And so when he was looking for some help with the app, he reached out to me for some consulting work. I got to know him and just absolutely loved the way he did things. And so I worked for him for about 6 weeks on a consulting basis and then came on board full-time about a month ago.
Wow. So how much content do you have currently? Do you know?
We're working on it. So we have about 70 restaurant partners, more and more every day. And then actually, speaking of content, one of my main missions right now is I shoot video content for the bars.
Okay.
Well, let me phrase it. I don't shoot video content. I don't have that skill set. But what I do is sometimes I wax poetic in front of a camera and I talk to bar and restaurant owners about what they do and showcase things that people might want to see.
I love that. Is this limited to the Columbus, Ohio area, or are you going to branch out?
Columbus is currently the only market we're in.
Okay.
But who knows what the future holds.
So are there different categories within this app? Like if
Absolutely.
You want...
Yeah, we have distilleries, we have bars, we have some awesome pizza places. We just put Harvest Pizzeria on the platform, Taft's Pizza down in Franklinton. I shot a really fun video with Taft's just a couple weeks ago with our good friend David Veach.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Fun. That's pretty amazing. So we can download this app.
Absolutely.
And we can learn about the best places in Columbus, and not only that, what to eat when we get there.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do our best to sort of guide people toward curated promotions. You know, every day the app gets better. That's just our mission.
I like that.
Awesome.
Because I think that that's kind of what we do with our cocktail tour is people don't know what to drink. So will you give recommendations on cocktails to get while you're...
Absolutely. I mean, wouldn't every bar be better if y'all were sitting next to the person enjoying a cocktail?
Yeah.
Well,
And that's sort of the mission we're out there to accomplish.
Well, that's pretty amazing. So what's your favorite cocktail
In the world?
in the world?
Depends on the
Like
day.
top 5 or 3. Let's say summertime, like this season. What are you drinking right now?
Summertime, I definitely tend to go lighter in alcohol. Summertime, it's probably like wine or cider, but if I'm drinking cocktails, probably like clear spirits. I'll never say no to anything bubbly. I love a mojito, especially one with like a lot of funk, like agricole. But it's one of those things I've been hurt so many times. I don't trust a lot of people to make me one. But if I can find a good one of those, I'll always drink it.
Well, how would you make it?
So if I was making a mojito, what I would do is I would cut my lime into quarters. I would put 4 of those quarters in the bottom of the glass. I would muddle that. I would throw my mint on top of that, but I wouldn't muddle that. I would put my rum. It would probably be something esoteric. It would probably be a blend of like something agricole and like something a little bit more with character but not funky. So I'd probably blend like plantation and Pear Nubes. Big Pear Nubes fan. That will Hawken rum. It's also like 105 proof. If you haven't had it, that stuff's awesome. Makes a great mojito.
we have had it.
One of my favorite things on the planet. And then sugar, extra lime juice, because I only want so much lime oil. And then
Okay.
I'm shaking, straining over fresh ice, but I'm topping with soda while I'm in my shaker so I can disperse the carbonation evenly.
So why wouldn't you muddle the mint? I feel like everybody muddles mint.
Mint's just one of those things. It's pretty.
You don't have to bruise it, right? Just
No,
gotta spank it.
Mint's one of those things that's pretty delicate, and with cocktails, I try my best to put and not all the time, but I try my best to put myself in the easiest, like, winnable path. And mint's one of those things that if you treat it improperly, like, it oftentimes becomes astringent. And so I think you can get a lot of mint flavor just with shake agitation. And so I don't really mess with muddling it.
That's fair. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. So we have been at your bars at the top, as we mentioned. That's where we first remember you. Cosecha, Cucina.
Prohibition.
I've never been to Prohibition.
But I was.
You have.
And I was upstairs with you.
You are a mentor in our I'm Not Really a Bartender competition. You were Doug Winship's mentor.
I love that guy.
But we've
Hi, Doug.
never really sat down and talked to you. And it wasn't until now. Well, actually, we did a video with you for our I'm Not Really a Bartender competition.
Yep.
But I just noticed you have a Southern accent. Where are you from?
So this is an interesting story. So I'm from Columbus. My dad's side of the family is from Central Kentucky.
Oh,
and
it's contagious.
I spent a good deal of my life with my grandparents. Actually, funny story. My girlfriend just started my ancestry family tree today, and she took me back through my family tree, like all the way back to the 1801s today.
Huh.
And I got to see like the counties that my kin was from. But there's really no reason that I should have this accent.
Yeah, there is.
But I just happen to.
It is totally contagious. If you have family from the South, you're gonna have a twang. That's just how it is. It's totally contagious. I mean,
That's why I don't have one.
well, Blair's just resisting it. He's resisting it.
What?
The water's warm.
I never lived there.
It doesn't matter. But I've never noticed that. But yeah,
I think it also sort of it compounds the older I get, which I can't explain either, because the farther I am from being with my grandparents, the more the accent seems to develop. I don't know if y'all can figure it out. Let me know.
well, it's just laziness too. Like it's really hard to enunciate. And when you drink a lot of whiskey or
There's no
rum
reason
or
to.
whatever, it's like, who needs to enunciate? Let's just talk.
I just want to put an apostrophe on the end of everything. Who am I,
That's
Henry
right.
Higgins over here? No thanks.
Absolutely. So as a bartender, you've been a bartender for a long time. you obviously are into the creative process of making cocktails. So with this new gig with Flavvr, are you able to be creative? Like,
I still do get to be creative, not so much in the drinks space anymore. Most of that's relegated to my home bar. I get opportunity. I still get to teach. I teach classes on wine once a week. I teach classes
where do
on
you do that?
spirits. At work, actually. Education's kind of continuing education's a really big part of where I work. And so a lot of the guys I work with are from the tech sector. And so I teach a wine class every week.
Oh,
So
just
what was
to your coworkers?
Tell me about your what was your wine class this week or last week?
So wine class last week was on different styles of rosé. So we went through 2 different styles of rosé from 2 different parts of the world, from 2 different grapes, from 2 different soils, from 2 different elevations, and we talked about the things that made them similar and the things that made them different.
How do you know this shit?
Most of it's all bullshit. I spend about 15 minutes on Wikipedia before I take a class, and then I yammer off as many buzzwords as I can.
I totally appreciate
got my first and second level sommelier when I was in my early 20s.
Oh wow.
Before I went to the top, actually.
That's cool.
At a bar that no longer exists called Cotter's.
Never heard
I
of
don't
it.
remember that. Here in town?
Yeah, it was attached to the southwest corner of Nationwide Arena. It's at Tim Hortons now.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah. That was kind of the general consensus. But I sort of got a lot of opportunity. That was kind of my first spot where I had the opportunity to be creative. And my old boss there, definitely kind of gave me some opportunities to run with. And that's really where I developed a lot of the teeth that I cut into the industry later in my life. I don't know if that metaphor carries, but well, it's on tape. There's no going home.
So we tried to get you on our podcast last week, but you had to cancel because you were double booked because you had to do training for COVID. Tell us about that.
I might have to go back in my phone. I did have to do something.
But how has COVID affected what you're doing right now? Is it affecting Flavvr?
Absolutely.
On Flavvr, are you listing open now or not open?
We try to keep hours updated as much as possible. I don't know. Most of the hours on the app pull straight from Google.
Okay.
And I don't know if anyone here has Googled a restaurant's hours and been disappointed by the results.
Yeah.
We have been equally frustrated. It's kind of difficult because in this landscape, restaurants are doing just everything they can to survive. Oh, I remember what I was doing.
Yeah.
So I was hosting a roundtable on bars and restaurants versus the pandemic.
That's right.
That's right.
That's what I was doing. And so like I was saying, it's really difficult for anybody to do it. One, it's difficult for restaurants to do anything, period, before the pandemic.
Right.
It's as difficult as it's ever been to run a restaurant, and profit margins are as thin as they've ever been. And you throw a global pandemic into it, and it's just even more difficult. And so it's for us to come into a spot. It's tough to get people on the phone. It's tough to get people to have a meeting, even if all we're trying to do is just, tell people how good their brand is and try to drive traffic to their venue. People are stretched so thin. They're just
Yeah.
no. They're
Yeah.
just
So Hans, you made us a punch tonight.
I sure tried.
All right. So we're going to take a break and you're going to pour us a punch and we'll be back in just a minute. And now we're back with this delicious punch that Hans made us.
Well,
Cheers.
Don't go rushing
Cheers.
to any judgment.
Cheers.
Cheers, absolutely.
Okay, so tell us about it. What is it?
So, this was, you wouldn't believe it to look at it, was originally supposed to be a milk punch. I really like meditating on the idea of taking some fun and different approaches to things. I really like clarifying juices. And this drink sort of came out of the fact that I really wanted to clarify some peach juice. And the thing about that is my centrifuge was cross town and my pectin enzymes were in another part of town. And I was like, what I'll do is I'll just take my peaches and I'll make a milk punch with it. And so I love the idea of tasting fruit juice without like the texture of pectin, that sort of like thick fruit juice texture.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to accomplish that with this. So the flavor profile of this punch sort of revolved around the idea of peach juice, Oloroso sherry, and then I infused some rye whiskey with jasmine tea. And so was really meant to be clean and simple. It's not bad. I've had worse things, but it's didn't necessarily end up where I planned. But it's a great segue into the topic of bartenders doing too much when they don't have the time or resources to do what they set out to do.
Let's hear it.
It's really bad. I think a lot of bartenders tend to be really ambitious because they're super passionate about their craft, and they try to be creative, and for whatever reason, like that may not work with the amount of resources their bar has, or the amount of money that ownership's willing to put into the program, or the time they have.
Right.
Like you got to live a life. You can't be deep in the lab centrifuging juice till 3 a.m. Like you got to go home and play with your cats or whatever the hell everybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is a centrifuge anyway, and how do you use it in bartending?
So a centrifuge separates suspended particles in a liquid from the liquid. So like if you had, for example, peach juice, there's pectin and hemicellulose and cellulose in there, and like the actual liquid of peach juice. So it just would give you like a really sort of thin, subtle but concentrated liquid, because you remove all those things that are like sort of like, solids.
So it's kind of like a salad spinner for
a
cocktail.
Centrifuge, Blair, is exactly a salad spinner.
Okay.
How do you know this shit? Like, do you have a degree in chemical engineering or
Biochemistry.
Oh, well, there you go.
I dabble. It's been a long time since I dabbled in any sort of hard sciences. All the use that I have for that education has found itself in food and beverage, which is fine with me.
Fine with us too.
I really like taking that sort of approach. If anybody else out there like me was raised on the television show Good Eats with Alton Brown, that's where I find a lot of my spiritual inspiration.
So what I have to say about this cocktail is that it is delicious. I can taste the peach. I love the mouthfeel, the viscosity. It's delicious.
Yeah.
It needs more liquor.
So funny thing about milk wash is it's sort of like it strips a lot of those like liquor tannins. So there's rye whiskey in here, and a lot of that, like what you would taste, is sort of smoothed away. So I guess what I would say is have 2 and tell me how you feel.
I think what I'm
Fair
going to
enough.
do. I think what I'm going to do is I actually had a little glass of rye whiskey from Echo Spirits.
Oh, you can toss it right on in.
I'm going to put it right in there.
I'm not going to be offended.
I think that would be delicious.
And sherry's in here, which is one of my all-time favorite things in the world to drink.
That comes through as well. It's really nice.
So, since you're no longer behind the stick,
not professionally,
what would you say? So, think about your worst customer, like that customer that you could have just gone across the bar and choked him out.
Oof.
Don't name names.
No, I'm screaming that at myself right now.
No, I think he probably doesn't even know their name. But think about like the customer that you would just love to jump across the bar and punch him in the face or choke him. What would you say to them if you could speak your mind in a moment? And you don't have to answer right now. We can come back to that. But think about that. Like, what would you say to them? Like, would you be like, you motherfucker, I'm going to punch you in the face? Or would you be like, sir, this is what you need to know about my day, how my day is gone. or this is how you should treat people. Or what would you say? Like, what would be your
I don't default to a lot of fire and brimstone. I tend to run pretty cold. But I do quite a lot of times wish that people would tend to have a little bit more empathy for service industry folk. It's a really difficult thing to understand the service industry mindset if you've never worked in it. It's not impossible by any stretch of the imagination. But it's really difficult. I had a buddy who wrote a paper in college about how it should be like a government program that everyone works the fourth meal shift at Taco Bell, just so you could like
being in the military.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like that is exactly it. And it's really difficult for some folks to grasp that, like, I had a tough day, like things aren't going great with my kids or my family, like I just want a fucking Tito's and soda, and this guy's taking his sweet time. But he doesn't realize that, like, there's a million things going on with that guy. And you can't program everybody to think that way, and it's impossible. And at some point, you just kind of become like, an old bartender shaking his fist at the sky, and I try not to do that these days. But I certainly do wish people would, especially these days, where, like, the guy hustling and sweating, or the person hustling and sweating behind the bar is in a mask and could be at home safe.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're there making you a cocktail, so please have some empathy for that person. And if it's taking them a minute, like, there's probably good reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had more of a damnation answer. And maybe at the end of this cocktail I will.
We can circle back if we need to.
So are you a member of the USBG? Where do you get your knowledge?
I am not currently a member of the USBG, have been in years past. Knowledge really kind of came cumulatively. I started out when I got serious about this business working for Cameron Mitchell. I opened the Short North Marcellas. Okay. And I bar backed behind that bar. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And really, like, I was like, I want to do this. And so every sort of moment when I really should have been focusing on school, I was deep in the lab, like learning about spirits, learning about cocktails. It was certainly classics, but at that time, like, classics were kind of finding their reemergence, and it was a lot of, like, whatever that TGI Friday era of cocktails was.
Yeah.
1980s,
90s vodka situation.
Caught a lot of my mentorship from a lot of the bartenders who had video content on the internet early. Robert Hess is a guy out of Seattle who had a thing called the Small Screen Network. And bartenders like J.B. Boudreaux and Jeffrey Morgenthaler had some really awesome content on there that was kind of integral in shaping, or not shaping, but at least feeding my sort of hunger for knowledge back then. So a lot of independent study, I guess, is the long walk answer to the short question that you asked.
No, that's good.
So I'd also like to know, you've had good and bad customers. You've also worked in countless places. Tell me some of your favorite and maybe least favorite employers around town.
That's a good question.
I've had a couple great good ones. Let's see. I really loved the family who owned the Top. It's owned by three couples. Matt and Emily Schettinger, Craig and Joyce Hoover, and Denver and Gene Adkins. They were some of my absolute favorite people to work for. Gene and Denver, who run that spot, are about as, like, dedicated hospitality people as it gets.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen anybody in a room better than Gene. I don't know if I've seen anybody in a kitchen better than Denver. And they're so good at making you feel like part of the family. I
agree with that.
So much fun working there. There's those sort of jobs that you reflect upon and you're like, I would go back and do that again.
Even as a customer, I feel like we were part of the family. They're so wonderful. Yeah.
I had
nice.
Some great moments working for Elton Sargent up at Prohibition. Elton really gave me the opportunity to kind of like flex some different muscles that I hadn't had the opportunity to flex. Some really fun, like we got to try different marketing campaigns and be really creative in business ways that I hadn't had a chance to do before. And I really liked that. I really like the people I'm working for now. My boss, Rob, he's a business school guy from Notre Dame, which really isn't like my field. But it's really fun, like getting opportunities to be creative in ways that I haven't before. I've had, working from Karen Mitchell was great. Especially back then, it was awesome. I had some great moments working for Chris Crater. Chris Crater's director of operations, Matt Torshow, was really great to work for.
And that was at Cosecha?
Yes,
okay.
I ran Cosecha for those folks for a year and a half, something like that.
Okay.
It was a great place. It was sad that closed.
Absolutely. That place really sort of held the flag in terms of like restaurants that were really delivering authentic Mexican food from a standpoint of people who cared about the cuisine and cared about telling those stories. I really dearly miss that kitchen.
Yeah. When the first time we went to Cosecha, the food was delicious, but I love tequila. I love tequila as much as I love whiskey. And Chris was telling us the story of how he and his wife were in this little village in Mexico. They were off the beaten path, and they were doing shots of tequila, just tasting tequila.
As one.
And as one would do. And the barkeep was like, okay, you Americans, you do salt and lime with your tequila. That's not what you do. Like, that is not.
It's all wrong.
The proper way to do a shot. He said, you do an orange with cinnamon on it. So Chris brought us, I forget what, it was the tequila in the beautiful ceramic that looks like a lamp. That's yes.
Yep.
And he gave us an orange that was sprinkled with cinnamon. And he was like, do a shot with that. And it was life-changing. Like, that is how you do a shot. Like, all the flavors of the tequila just burst.
Well, and that tequila is amazing.
It is.
That helps.
Right. Now one of the bar stories are rearing its ugly head. So, in the bar industry, for anyone who doesn't know, occasionally hospitality people will go out and tie one on. And,
no, really?
I just learned about this recently. I was just at home doing my own thing while these folks were out just gallivanting all hours of the night. But anyway, so in this book or magazine I read, there is a hospitality version. So in the normal world, someone hands you a tequila shot, you lick the salt, shoot tequila, squeeze the lime. There's a hospitality offshoot or spinoff called the Stunt Man Shot. Anybody know about this?
No.
No.
All right, so
Tell us about this.
the Stunt Man Shot is it's sort of in the hospitality world, you spend so much time commiserating that you sort of search for new ways to, I don't want to say catch the dragon, but like keep things interesting. So you take those same basic ingredients and tenements of the tequila shot, and don't try this at home. But you snort the salt, you shoot the tequila, and then you squeeze the lime in your eye. And a lot of the hospitality folks I know use those shots as betting currency. And it's just like it sounds. I've never tried it. But that is something that hospitality folks are.
Listeners, please don't try this at home.
Yeah, don't do it. But like I said, I read about it in a magazine article. I think it's Vanity Fair, I'm pretty sure.
And had a few friends try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell us about the time that you hit a deer in Crystal Avi's car.
No, that story's still out there. That's good. I thought I had buried that. That's good. All right. Well, I got some talking to do with my PR person. That's fine. Chris Delavi, who is longtime bartender over at Ammon Miranova. Hi, Chris, if you're listening. Chris has spent a lot of time doing great work with the cocktail apprenticeship program for Tales of the Cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 year I got to go on the cocktail apprenticeship program retreat, which was in Kentucky. And we toured a couple of bourbon distilleries, had a good old time, sang karaoke, made lifelong friends. But Chris and I had to cut out early because we had to come back to work. And we left Kentucky way late. We left at like 10 at night. And so we were driving, and I was driving Chris's car because she was tired. I was like, don't worry, I'll drive. And so 71 north, late at night, trying to get home. Dark, as you might imagine. There was a deceased deer lying in the left-hand lane of 71 north, and I ran over it. Went under the middle of the car. Jumped the car up, scared the shit out of everybody. Chris wakes up from her slumber. She goes, what the hell was that? And then I go through the very difficult moral conundrum of explaining what happened or lying. And I chose to explain what happened. And I said, Chris, there was a dead deer lying in the middle of the road. I did not see it, but I drove over it. I'm so sorry. Car seems fine. That last part turned out not to be true. So as we get down the road, the car starts just billowing white smoke out of the hood, which I'm not a car guy, but I don't think that's great.
Doesn't sound good.
So I pull over the vehicle, and it turns out that when I had run over the deer had knocked the oil pan from the bottom of the car. Shit. And oil was sort of spilling out of the car. And for anybody who doesn't know, you need oil to keep a car moving, and if you don't, it gets grumpy at you. And so pulled over. We both rode in the lap of a very friendly tow truck driver from the very top of Kentucky to our home in Central Ohio, who couldn't have been kinder. At the time, I was very fortunate to have the platinum AAA I'm a fuck up card, just to say you get unlimited towing miles. And,
nice.
It shuttled us back to Columbus, and we probably got home at like 2 a.m, just plumb exhausted. And in my case, really embarrassed.
So this all makes sense because last fall, Chris and I went to a concert together in Cleveland, and I knew she was exhausted driving back home, but she refused to let me drive.
That's the trauma.
This explains why she refused to let me drive.
That's the trauma. Sorry, Chris. If you're listening.
All right, Hans. So what's next for you? What's the future gonna bring for you?
I'm really happy where I am. I'm happy to see this business through this pandemic. I'm really happy for that to be over. We're
all looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see what the restaurant industry looks like on the other side. It's populated by like the people with the most perseverance and fortitude and creativity that I know, and every bar and restaurant owner that I know has sort of offered up a creative pivot to keep their businesses and the people they employ solvent.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody gets like, I chose a really like crazy time to not be in it. But everyone out there has my heart, and so I'm going to try to continue advocating for everybody out there as best as I can. And in the future, when the world's a little bit more friendly to navigate, I'm happy to take on whatever challenges it has. I've always been one of those people, like I don't really like doing one thing for very long. So this job really offers me the opportunity to do really fun things. I hosted that round table with some great people the other day. I get the opportunity to shoot video content. They've really sort of just given me a flag to run with, and I couldn't be happier for that platform.
Amazing.
That's cool.
So tell us again the name of the app.
Flavvr, Flavvr.
Awesome. I'm going to get that, doing it.
Absolutely. I'll get
Downloading
you
it.
some promo codes.
Listeners,
3 months
do
free
that.
trial for anyone who downloads, by the way. Try it out. 3 months. See if you like it. Tell your friends about it.
Definitely.
Awesome.
It sounds like a wonderful thing.
It is. It's great.
Hans, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
We are so
really
glad you were
appreciate it.
finally on our
Yes.
show with us.
My God's
We
honest
wanted
pleasure.
you for so long.
Sorry.
So glad you fit us in. Thank you so much.
The fuck are you talking about?
Cheers.
Cheers. Listeners, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Seabus Craft Cocktail Tour. Visit our website at columbuscraftcocktailtour.com for cocktail tour dates, women and whiskey tastings, special events, merchandise, and if you're looking for a gift for that special person in your life, get them a gift card to our cocktail tour. Thank you to our producer, Greg Hansberry, and to the biographer for our original music. And please remember to drink responsibly and be cocktail curious. Cheers.